Hello, welcome to B250 Web Business Creation. My name is Brother Poole. I'm excited to have you in the class this semester. I want to make sure that everybody feels welcome. I'm excited to have you guys here and gals. I'm really excited. This is going to be a great semester. We have a lot of students from all over the world, and so we're just going to have a great time. Now, throughout the semester, I'm going to be posting announcements. Make sure to read these announcements. They're going to be absolutely critical. There'll be help in there. I'll be able to give you some additional assistance on assignments. If there's any kind of a change to an assignment, I will post it there. You will be responsible to know everything that's in these announcements. Whether it's a video, you'll be responsible to watch that video. Whether it's just something written, you are responsible for that. So even if you don't watch them, I'm going to be holding you responsible for that. So please make sure to do that. There is a question and answer board. This is going to be your friend. All questions that you guys have, please go to the questions and answer board in the students resource section and ask them there, or look to see if that question's already been asked. The reason I have you do that is because if you have a question, odds are somebody else in the class has that same question. So if we can put it on the question and answers board, then somebody else can get benefit out of seeing your question. And so that's why it's so critical. Now, here's the thing. If it contains personal information, please don't put it on the question and answer board. Email me directly. And what I want you to do is to be able to email me through the Canvas system. Canvas has a great email inbox system. And an email system where you can email me through it or send me a message through it. That is the best way to get a hold of me. Because by doing it that way, it keeps a very good record as to what's going on, and is just the best way to do it. Now, the student resources section, like I said, the question and answers is in the student resource section. You go to the home page, look towards the bottom, you'll see a black box. I believe it's black, but you'll see a box there that'll say student resources. You click on that, it'll take you to the student resource section of the modules, and then you will see question and answers board. That's where you'll go to ask all of your questions. So please do that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. All right, now I want you all to be successful. My goal one day is for us to everybody in the course to get an A in the class. I'm afraid though when that happens, well, I'll be translated and then we'll be on into the millennium. So it's probably not going to happen, but I would love that to happen. But my goal is at least to give everybody the opportunity to get a full 100% in this class. Believe it or not, last semester I did have 2 students that did not miss one single point. So it is possible, but it does take a tremendous amount of work on your part. This is not a class that you can simply add in and just think you're going to be able to coast through, maybe look at it once a week and do fine. It doesn't work that way. There is a lot of work and a lot of projects due in this class. And so I want you to be able to know all this up front, and so that you can make a good decision as to whether this is the class for you. All right, now, first off, this is not an independent study class. An independent study class is one where they give you all the content, all the information, you work through it at your own pace, and you complete it. There is a required due date where you can't go past that, but you can do it whatever you want. This is not one of those type of classes. This is a regular class. We do not work ahead. You have everything that you're responsible for each week. You'll have something due on a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Saturday all semester. There's only 1 week where we only have things due. We don't have things due on all 3 days. Other than that, you're turning stuff in all 3 times a week. You cannot just check in once a week and do this. That doesn't work in this class. This is a class that is highly involved. As I mentioned, assignments are due 3 times a week. If you are late, you will have a 20% deduction, up to a 20% deduction taken off for late work. The way that works is that I have it set up so that the deduction is based on the number of hours that you are late. So if you're only 1 hour late, so if it's rounded up to the hour, so if you're 1 second late, it'll count as only being 1 hour late. It used to be counted as if you were 1 day late and you were deducted points for the entire day being late. Now it's per hour, so if you're 1 second or 30 minutes late, Now it's only like 0.1% that you actually lose. But if you're 160 hours late, you're almost at the 20% deduction. So the sooner you get it in, if you are late, the less deduction you're going to get. We'll talk a little bit more about this later. However, just to also let you know that no work will be accepted after 7 days late. The only exception is discussion boards. With discussion boards, there is no late work accepted. Again, we're going to talk about that in just a moment, a little bit more in depth. Next, this is a hands-on course that closely follows the BYU-Idaho learning model of preparation, teaching one another, ponder, and then prove. It's really, really a great course, and we'll be doing that all throughout the course. Now, there will be a lot of discussion that will take place on this in this course. We'll use the following boards: questions and answers, as I discussed, and then weekly discussion boards. Starting in week 2 through everything but the last week, we will have weekly discussion boards. You'll be in groups. There is no group assignments, but weekly discussion boards, you will have a group that you will be with, that you will talk with and discuss with, and there will be different topics, and you will be having 2 of these each week, and there will be some requirements of those. We're going to cover that in just a moment. I do want to let you know, as you might expect, there are a lot of students in this course. And so what I am doing is I'm relying on each of you as their classmates to help them. So on the question and answer board, if you know an answer to their question, please, please answer it. Don't wait for me to answer it. If you know, or you even think you know, please post an answer and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking, or here's what I did, whatever. That really, really helps. Now, the exception to that is please don't post the answer to your assignment there, because then somebody can just copy it and make a few changes. We don't want to get into that. So don't post your assignment answer there, but please, please, please feel free to help them. It will really be beneficial if you guys can all go there, post, and answer the questions. As I mentioned, if you see one that you think you might know the answer to, please, please answer it, help them out. And I recommend that we check the question and answers board often. Now, this course does not require a textbook. Yay! A lot of courses require textbooks that are like $100+. So it's great that we don't have a textbook. However, you will be required to complete the course projects, which include items such as getting a domain name, getting a host provider, building a website, creating and running a Google Ads account and campaign. So all of these items do cost money, okay? So the cost of this course will run around $100 US. Okay, so you need to understand that up front. I don't want to get all the way to where we're doing the ads or whatever, and then you say, well, I don't have the money, I can't do it. Please know that up front, it's going to cost about $100 US for this course. So you need to be aware of that. Now, here's the exception. If you are in one of these countries, this is a worldwide course and worldwide church. And there are places in the world where $100 US is literally like 3 months worth of wages. I do not want you making the choice in those countries as whether or not you're going to do that or feed your family. Okay, if you are in a area of the world where $100 US is just a tremendous amount of money, I'm going to work with you. Okay, so please reach out to me. Reach out to me, or if you're watching this from another class, reach out to your instructor. Talk to them. We're going to work things out with you. We want you to be successful, and we do not want this course to destroy your financial life. So if you're in one of those countries, please let us know. We'll work with you. However, if you're not, well, you just need to figure this out, because I understand being a very, very broke college student. I have been there. I understand that. And I understand that a lot of you are broke college students. However, college and university does cost money, and this course does cost around $100 US, so you do need to know that up front. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Weekly discussion board. So let's dive a little bit further into the weekly discussion boards. When we're doing that, You need to be respectful when agreeing or disagreeing with your fellow students. You're going to be doing a lot of commenting on others' posts. You do need to make sure that you're being respectful with them. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. It's great. You know, you put on there, I disagree. I respectfully disagree with you, and here's why. Don't just say you're wrong. I mean, explain why you think that and put that in there. That's great. That's what we're after. Or you can say, I completely agree, and here's why I agree. That's great too. You know, we want to be able to do that. Also, please use correct English and not texting abbreviations like LOL or that type of thing. This is a university level course. You need to be using long university level sentences. Now, don't worry if English is not your first language. This is not an English class. I'm not going to be looking for proper English and nouns and verbs and adjectives and making sure everything's aligned correctly. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about use correct English and just not your texting abbreviations and things like that. There is, by the way, there is nothing wrong with smiley faces. I love smiley faces and things like that. So feel free to put those in. But as far as the words, they just need to be actual correct words. Now, I want to tell you how I'm going to grade the discussion boards because I don't want there to be any surprises. Okay, the first post of a weekly discussion board is required to be made at least 2 days before the discussion board is due. If it's not done, you will receive a 10% penalty off the top of your grade for that discussion board. Okay. Now, if you do an initial comment and comment on at least 2 classmate posts, and they have to be significant posts, then you will get 100%. Okay. If you do the initial post and only comment on one, that should be not at least, it should be a comment on one classmate post, then you will get 66%. If you do the initial post only, you're going to get 33%, assuming, again, that these are valid posts and are eligible for credit. And if you don't do anything or you make a post that detracts from the conversation, you will get 0%. Now, late work. Before we do that, let me dive into one other thing with discussion boards and posts. Okay, the posts need to be, as it says in the syllabus, it needs to be at least 4 solid sentences. Okay, so shoot for like 6. That way, in case you're off by 1 or you think one's significant and the instructor doesn't think it's significant, you're still going to be good. If you're trying to cut it to the edge and doing exactly only 4, that's dangerous because you may think that one's significant and the instructor doesn't, and then you don't get credit for it. So I always recommend do at least 5 or 6. Now, a significant sentence is not, I agree with you, period. Okay, that is a legitimate sentence, but that is not a long, significant sentence that is required. You need to say something like, I agree with you because da 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 da, whatever that is. That's a good, solid sentence. You need to have at least 4 of those in your response. Excuse me. So make sure to do that. It drives me nuts to have to give somebody a 0 on a post when they wrote it, but they only did like 3 sentences. Just spend another 60 seconds and write another sentence. Okay, please, I just highly recommend try to get at least 5 or 6 good sentences in there so that I can give you credit. I do not like not giving credit for things when you've done something. Please make sure to do a significant amount. Now, again, you're going to have on late work up to a 20% deducted off the top for late work. Late work or work will not be accepted later than 7 days past the due date. Okay, so just understand that that if you submit something to me 8 days past the due date, I will thank you for that, but you will not receive any credit for it. You have to make sure to get it in within that 7-day window. Just one moment, please. Isn't it funny that in the almost worst time possible, the phone always rings? So I apologize for that. All right, let's get back to this. All right, so as I mentioned, there is no late work accepted for discussion boards. The reason for that is discussion boards are meant to simulate a classroom discussion. So a late discussion board would be like walking into the classroom after everybody's left and making a comment. There's no one there to be benefited by your comment, and so it just doesn't work. And so there is no late work accepted for discussion boards, so you have to get them in on time. Now, as I mentioned, all of these things you can't, what the late work policies are, there are exceptions, of course, but the only exceptions to this policy is for medical emergencies, family tragedies, or natural disasters. Okay, so a cold or the flu, that is very annoying. I do not like them, but they are not medical emergencies. Medical emergency is one where you have to go to the emergency room or something really significant. That's where medical emergencies. I had a student in Africa contract malaria. That counts as a medical emergency, okay? So, you have something happen, please reach out to me, and please let me know just as soon as possible, ASAP. Just let me know as soon as you can. Don't call me before you go to the emergency room. Go get it took care of, or don't email me. Get it taken care of as soon as you're in a spot where you are healthy enough. Please email and just let me know what's going on so I don't worry about you. All right. Traps I see students fall into. They miss the easy points. Don't miss easy points. Like the weekly reflection, it's not that hard. You just simply write a paragraph or two, and you get some great points. Discussion boards the same way. Don't miss these easy points. Another problem is they chronically turn work in late, or they don't even turn it in at all. Please, get the work in on time so you don't lose points, and at least get the assignment done. Also understand that most Excel workbooks that we do in this course have multiple sheets. So when you get one that's required, look to make sure there's multiple tabs. If there's multiple tabs on it, make sure you go to each tab and complete it. Don't just complete that first one. Projects are very, very important in this course, okay? And they are worth a lot of points. So make sure to get them done. Now, you didn't know, but this class is going to be just like a marriage. I don't know who is married but if you're married, you understand something. And that is you have to manage your expectations. I remember I got married when I was 32, and my wife did everything wrong. She loaded the dishes wrong. She didn't put them in the cupboard right? We all have these habits that we kind of get into. And this person, they're doing them wrong. Well, guess what? She's probably thinking the exact same thing about me. Well, the thing is you can sit around and be frustrated about it, or you can change your expectations. I had to change my expectation that she loaded the dishes like I wanted, because that's ridiculous. That doesn't matter. My expectation was totally unrealistic, and I needed to change it. If I didn't, I was going to be constantly upset. And it's the same thing with this course. There are expectations I want you to understand. I want you to know what you can expect, but I want you to be able to expect it in a way that's actually realistic. So let's talk about some correct expectations. One, you can expect me to try to check the question and answer board every day, Monday through Friday. A lot of times I check it multiple times, but please check it. And I would ask you guys as well to please try to check that every day. If you can, you're not required to. That's not a requirement, but try to do that. Now, my goal is to answer all emails I get within 24 hours, okay? But it's likely not going to be the same day. So if you have a question about an assignment, if it's due that day and you email me, and I don't email you back to answer that until the day after, don't be upset at me that your assignment might now be late, because as I mentioned, understand the expectation is that you should expect to be able to get an answer back from me within 24 hours. But understand that likely it's not going to be that day, so please understand that. Also know that the 24 hours does not count weekends. So if you email me on Friday, you may not get an answer back till Monday. So again, I want you to understand that expectation. Now, the other thing that's hard is this is not a religion course. Okay, we're not going to be doing very spiritual things in this class. It's a business class. It's really hard. So one thing I do to try to bring the Spirit in is in all the weekly announcements, or the majority of them, I try to put in there a little thought about a little spiritual thought, or a link to a great little short video from the church, whatever, something like that, to invite the Spirit into this course so we can act as disciples of Christ. But it's very hard. So understand that I will bring the Spirit into this as much as possible, but it's not a religion course. So don't expect the same level of spirituality between a religion course and the business course, because it just doesn't happen. But I am going to do my best, because we all know that when we have the Spirit with us and we are acting as disciples of Christ, we do our best. And so that's something I definitely do try to do. Also, you need to have the expectation and understand that this class has a lot of assignments, discussions, and projects to do. Okay, this is a very intensive course. However, it is incredibly, incredibly valuable. And the end result of this course is that you will have realistic, usable skills to go out and do stuff in the marketplace. This is not a theory class. This is an actual doing class. We do things as they exist today to where you can then continue on doing it immediately. So that's very important. I love this class. It's very, very useful class, but there is a lot to do, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that up front. And you will have to spend up to $100 in this course. So make sure you guys know this. Make sure you understand and agree with these expectations. If you don't think this is the right class for you, please think through that. If it's not, I will miss you. I would love to have you here. But if it just doesn't fit with what you're doing, you may want to look at another class. All right, let's talk a little bit about online instructors. For those that may not know, I want you to know that most, and actually it's changed to where all online instructors are now part-time. Most of us have another full-time job. Most of us have a church calling. Most of us have families to take care of. Therefore, we are very busy. Okay, we're very busy. However, we love teaching and helping students. I've been doing this for 7 years. We do not get paid hardly good at all. We just get paid a very little amount to do this. The reason instructors stick around to do this job is because we love our students. We love helping you. I love helping students. I've been here 7 years. The reason I've been here is because I just really enjoy working with the students, helping you be able to answer questions, things like that. That is something I absolutely love to do. Now, I also want you to understand that I know that most students have part-time or full-time jobs. You guys also have church callings. You also have families to take care of. And you are also very busy. I understand that. I got my master's while I had 2 special needs kids and a full-time job doing my schoolwork at night. I understand just absolutely trying to just work super hard to get things done. And I have so much respect and understanding for that. So I know that I do understand that. However, there are requirements to this course that must still be done. And I love you guys. I haven't even really got to know you, but the fact that you're willing to take this step to better your life and your family's life, or your future family's life, is wonderful. And I respect that, and I honor you for that. All right, well, again, I'm excited for you to be here in this class. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be great. There's going to be a lot. We're just going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a great class. Please, again, know how much I care about you as a student, and I will do my best to be able to help you have the opportunity to go through this and be successful. It is going to be up to you, however, to choose to be successful, but I will do my best to make sure that opportunity is there. All right, well, have a wonderful day and a wonderful semester. Thanks so much. Bye.